Okay, today we're going to walk through this Smoothie Host that Jim built. It's under here on his repository. Now, it was originally built to kind of work with a Raspberry Pi and the touch panels with touchscreen, but it also works with some other displays. It can work with just a straight computer, normal monitor. It's just a Python script, so it runs with a lot of different things. It has a whole bunch of different functions. You can read through this all later. But spindle camera, different debug logger, but here's the different screens and extruder screens and DRO and command screen. Now this is all what it would look like if you were running it on a Raspberry Pi. If you're running in the widescreen desktop mode like I am, you'll see it's all in one screen. And it really, as you can see, it just has everything. This is the mode I run in here, this widescreen desktop mode. And there's also just desktop mode and other functions here. But this is the recommended host for Smoothieware. It is created by the lead developer for Smoothieware. So it's here. There's a Raspberry Pi 3. So if you're running it on a Raspberry Pi 3, there's an image that I actually made. And from there, there's other modifications you can make to that image. You can make it do things such as run a pendant, wireless pendant, or like I've done before, having it run auto boot with USB sticks, so that when you plug in a USB drive, you can run your G code from there or transfer it over. You can also connect via other methods, to transfer the files over, like FTP the files directly to the machine, which is kind of nice when you have several machines, you name them the different things. And you can log into your network and then just FTP files directly to them. And then when you walk over to it, and when you're using a Raspberry Pi, you can just go straight to the touchscreen. Now, today, we're actually going to be going over this version, though. So this is Smoopi. It's written by Jim Morris, Wolfman JM. He's the lead dev for the Smoothieware. And basically, this was just a host that he, there's other hosts, BCNC and Prawnterface and, Octopi and Octoprint and all those. They're great, but a lot of those have different commands and such that are tailored for other firmwares, and he just kind of got tired of having to ask, honestly, to have things changed around to fit Smoothieware. So he built one that was just straight Smoothie specific. This is running in the wide desktop mode. This also works on a Raspberry Pi with touchscreen really well. And it does a lot more than just a host. You can also run a UART log. You can run scripts with it, or different, tools, such as we have the Trinamic configurator here. There's calculator, UART log, the fast stream Pi, which, skips the handshaking, and, different things like that. So you can, I believe he even got it to run the arc welder and, things like that, arc smoother type script in the background as well, for those who want to use that. Now, this thing also you can use with a pendant. You can plug in a pendant and it'll work directly with it. So if you wanted to use like a wireless, I think they're the HBO8, they're common on eBay. If you wanted to use those, I've used one on a small mill before. They're great. So first thing I'm going to do here is just kind of review this. Now this is running in wide desktop mode, and it's also running in 3D printer setup. So now with the 3D printer, basically you see it has the temperature settings here, the hot end and bed. Now those are listed, and then the hot end controls, hot end and bed, and T1, T2, all this. This is for typically a 3D printer. This is like your macro page. This is your jog page, and then your DRO page. And then you have a straight console here. You can just send console commands directly to the machine from that. Now this will display all of your information, and when I get the UART log running, that'll also be over here. You'll see more of that. Now when you're using the Raspberry Pi, each of these are their own independent pages or tabs. So in this mode, there's the MPG also. So you have this MPG mode. You can actually drag it and move it. It's pretty cool. It works really well on the Pi touchscreen, so you can move an axis or set your feed rates or things like that through that. It's kind of nice. But like I said, you can also just plug in a pendant that does all those same things and will run the macros and everything from it. All right, so now in the system, there's different settings. I'm going to put it on CNC layout because this is I'm going to be using a CNC. And then also I need it set for version 2 Smoothie on. Okay. Now you see there's some other stuff here. There's web server. You can actually have webcam. You can have like a nozzle cam, or not a nozzle cam, but a mill spindle cam. So you could put in for setting your position and doing things like that. There's a lot of functions that need to be gone through, and this Smoopi could really use a nice long write-up on basically all of its stuff, but it's very nice to use. Okay, so first off, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Tools, and I already have a UART connected to my board here, and the board is unpowered at the moment. Alright, so I have a UART connected to the board. I'm going to go to Start UART Log. I'm going to select it. It's a USB 0 on this case. Hit OK. Now the UART log is here. Now when I reset the board, you'll see all this info. Now notice there was an error detected in the config INI. If you watched the last video, Jim pointed out to me I actually made an error on configuring. I put a space here. There's not supposed to be a space. So this threw up my error, threw up my configuration thing. It also flashes 2 lights on the board to let you know that you have a bad config. Now everything else looks good there. So this is why we recommend everybody have UART connected on your initial first config, because there's a lot of information here and it tells you basically everything you need to know. Now, since inside of here there is, when I connect to the board, so now that I connected, here's your standard information that comes from the board, and that's given back to me. And in the UART, it shows me as being connected. Okay, so in the tools here, there's a config editor. So this is really, really nice. He built this to go along with Smoothie. It works perfectly. So your general, all this stuff. So everything we configured, the options are now in here to be adjusted. And so under temperature, where is it at? Oh, temperature. I'm on it. So ADC 11. I go in there. I hit that. Hit OK. Go back. And now I can either hit the button on the board or I can just type reset. Now that reset the board. Connect again. My error has gone away and it's no longer flashing 2 lights, it's flashing 1, and as you can see in here, it's just doing its normal thing. So now this also gives you a lot more information. There's other things like in here, like the FET enable and things that are in there, so like if you turn on your motor power, it will give you a message, here's, if you turn on the FET power, connect power to the FET, it should let me know. Oh, I guess maybe it doesn't. But anyways, so there's messages that come across that are for, there it was, V motor went off. So when I disconnect the V mode, it sends that. And Smoothie's set up in here, it can actually detect when the FET power's on and when the motor power's on, I believe, in the firmware level. The motor has to be able to be detected because when V-Mode goes on, it has to be able to configure the drivers with the settings. Alright, so here you have your console. Now if you just simply put a question mark in, it will bring you to the page and it will show you all the acceptable G codes, all the acceptable M codes, commands, which you can have, get volts, and there's a whole bunch of different things that are pretty interesting in there. The $sign codes or whatever that's called, home and such. These are all, for releasing alarm and things like that. Okay, pins. Now here's your full listing of everything, all your pins, all your pinouts and where they go. Functions. Here's your normal bed. Is this one? So these are all your built-in stuff. Your probe, your solid-state relay things, your UART. All these are hardware wired on the board. So those are those pins. Now you go back, and here you have your macros. Now you can build a new macro there, or you can just edit your macros file and on the computer, which is pretty easy to do. I find it easier actually. And you can use the wiki and other examples on how to build macros and such. There's quite a few things there that are helpful. I believe there's some examples. If not, we're going to put some up there. All right. And then your DRO. So now you got your workspace coordinates. You can enter in all your axes, everything else, and it gives you your spots. You can zero, do all your fun stuff. Now this is for jogging axis. Now you can actually grab this and drag, and it'll do a continuous jog, and it'll stop when you stop, which is really nice on the when you're using the touchscreen, because you can just put your finger on there and drag it back and forth. This goes the distances. This is your jog speed. This 100% will be, that's set in your config based on your speeds. Your default rate, you know, is those. That's where your default speeds come into play. So you want to set. Don't ever have your default speed as faster than you want it to run on 100%. You know. So, and then you know you got your Z and your A axes you can adjust through here. Now, home, motors off, Z, safe Z. Safe Z jumps it up 20 millimeters, and that's configurable. Also, origin goes to 0. All right, now for other tools in here, you have your config editor, which I loosely went over. Upload G-code, so that will send it to the board, send it to the board's SD card. Takes quite a while. You're usually better off just pulling the card out and putting it into another machine if you need to do that. That often I find, especially with 3D prints that have a lot of circles and such, that it's better to print from the SD card as opposed to streaming over the USB, because for some reason there's still, you know, at times you can get little glitches and buffer issues that maybe there's a solution for, maybe not. Fast stream is part of that solution. If you run fast stream, it doesn't give the, you know, response back. It doesn't do the ping pong, so it's just sending info. SD print prints right from the card. Stop UART log, that's start stop. You can turn that on. Calculator gives you a calculator. Set date time. The board has a real-time clock, so you can actually set date time of the board, and if you put the battery on the back, you can do that. Now the TMC config, this is pretty cool. This is for the trianemic drivers for your motors. There's a lot of settings, and I was actually discussing with Jim one day that I was just going to build a little Arduino thing with sliders that, you know, because it was such a pain to send this big long G-code string every time, because all this information has to be sent every single time. So it became annoying, and I said, well, can't we just make something that, you know, you slide it up and down and hit send and it'll send. So he made this in like a couple of hours based on, you know, he's like, I think I could just put this in Smoopi, which is awesome. So he threw this in here, and all this stuff here, you can see, you can set all of the settings and play with your sounds and play with your, you could look at view your waveform on a stepper motor analyzer, do whatever you want, get everything set up, run it, test it, save it, and sometime, you know, so this is like non-destructive until you save. You can just test settings, and you can play around and really get the noises, and the motor's tuned in well. For some motors, it's probably going to be required. It's not, I think it's going to be like not optional, like the stock settings are not going to be great. Now there's a little bit of info in the data sheet about what to do here. It gets a little confusing and noisy. It's probably going to be one of those things that some people are going to have to go over and really play with to get some settings down for certain motors. All right, now I had an alarm there, you know, clear the alarm. So basically, this gives you all of your functions, and you, like I said, you can build the macros, you can turn the fans. Some of the macros are toggles, some of them are just send. This is just the ones I had for my 3D printer. This is deploy the probe for that. The set Z0 goes to the center. Well, it homes the machine, goes to the center, probes the middle, and sets the Z to that for my, you know, basically Z homing. Probe Z gives me the distance. And all of these are just, you know, your standard, like, G-codes and such set. So, like, settings gives us settings. Get position, you know, it tells me the positions of everything there. Well, or it will at the bottom. There it is. And then, you know, if the front center just goes to the front of the machine in the center. Probe clear, there was a probe alarm if you have an alarm on your BL Touch, because that's what this is for. The Z increase 0.1 and Z decrease, this is while the machine's running. This is what people often call baby steps. I actually wrote, you have to put a macro in that works good, so that while you're printing, if you're doing your first layer and it's a little bit low, you can just increase or decrease by a touch, you know, through that. All right, and then there's also a viewer, which I haven't been using a lot, so I don't know very much about it, but it is in there. And like I said, there's also things like the webcam and some other features that are built in that are kind of better described inside of the wiki, the Smoopi wiki, which I'll link to in this page. But yeah, you get a basic idea here, so of why you use this and, how to use Smoopi. And like I said, there's all your information when you're viewing the UART log. This just goes over everything. It shows you exactly what you have set up and where it's at. And it doesn't leave any questions. There's no, why is my config not working? Well, it's telling you exactly why, and why, it could be wrong, and what other settings, So there's things in here, and there's green, there's blue, and then yellow and red. Red is the only ones that are real errors. Some are just warnings. But it's kind of nice to have. And then, like I said, we got this here, which gives you all your normal smoothie stuff you would see. And it acts as like your page, your host. So you can send commands or whatever you want to do through there. And again, like I said, if you were curious what the commands are, ? And you've got all of the commands, all the smoothie setups, everything that there is, that we have by default explained pretty well. So I think all of this is very helpful. And again, I know a lot of people are going to be using other hosts, Lightburn and such, for their lasers and other things. So that's fine. But initially, the first time you get your board, it's easier if you are using Smoopi, at least for setup to get your machine going. Then after that, go into other things you might be trying to run, other hosts and other connections. Then it eliminates a bit of problems, and it kind of adds a standardization to what everybody's doing. So, all right, I hope that helps everybody out.